law was created when God created himself.
That's right. Go ahead.
Are y'all hearing me? Law was created when God created himself. Law is what God uses to govern the universe. I'm going to give you an example of how you can't break the law. If I take this phone, and remember, laws were made to govern the universe. If I take this phone and I drop it, the law of gravity says that it's going to hit the floor.
Yes, sir.
Can we all agree upon that?
Yes, sir.
There's nothing that I could do to break that law. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
I can't make it levitate. If I drop it, it's going to hit the floor. I can catch it, but the law of gravity says it's going to hit the floor. Right? I can't break that law. Now, what happens to us when we are accused of being law breakers is we transgress against law. We could transgress against any law. Like I said, I could catch the phone. I'm gonna interfere with that particular law. But the law is still intact. To break something means to destroy it. Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
See, if I break the phone, hey, it's done. I can't use it no more.
That's right.
I broke it. Right?
That's right.
If we break any item that we own, man, we break that thing, we can't use it anymore. But law, you cannot break. You can only transgress against it. So God set up laws to govern the universe. God set up a law of cause and effect.
Yes, sir.
And what happened was when we were brought here to this country is the devil robbed us of the knowledge of that particular law. He broke us down so cold to where we didn't know whether we were coming or whether we were going. He took everything from us. He had to. He had to in order to make us into what he desired to make, which was a slave.
That's right.
Or in modern day times, a nigga.
Yes, sir.
He had to rob us of the law of cause and effect. So, I got a question for y'all. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all ever heard this one? When the sun is out and it's raining. Somebody say it again, brother Ashley. The devil's beating his wife. Is this just me and brother Ashley who heard this?
I heard that.
Have y'all heard that?
Yes, sir.
The devil is beating his wife because the sun is out and it's raining. First off, I didn't even know the devil was married.
Yes, sir.
But he's beating his wife. See, and thankfully, man, my mother never taught me no foolishness like that.
Yes, sir.
But you would hear it, when you're amongst your friends and their parents and whatnot, you would hear stuff like that. The devil's beating his wife because it's raining and the sun is out. Just crazy.
Yes,
but
sir.
that came from, if you take it all the way back, that came from slavery.
Yes, sir.
Because they had robbed us of all of the knowledge of self, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of the devil, the knowledge of the time, the knowledge of the law of cause and effect.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
So, we didn't know what caused rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Go
We
ahead.
didn't know what it was that caused the sun to be shining and it's still to be raining.
Yes, sir.
We didn't know.
Go ahead.
So, because we didn't have that knowledge, look, we don't have the knowledge of cause and effect. Hey, the devil's beating his wife. They taught us, again, they destroyed in us the knowledge of the law of cause and effect, that after we die, we go into heaven. And it's a place somewhere out in the, I don't even know where they said it was. It was in the sky, in the by and by.
Yes,
Wherever
sir.
the by and by is located. I don't know. They never gave us an
that's
exact
right.
geographical location, but that's what they told us would happen when we die. But I want to touch on this weather piece, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he gave us a lesson. Well, Master Father Muhammad actually gave us the lesson.
Yes, sir.
But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad answered questions that his teacher gave him. But in it, he was teaching us the law of cause and effect. So there's a lesson called Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2. And there's a question number 8. And it asks the question, what makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquake?
Yes, sir.
What makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? The slave had no idea.
That's right.
And many of us today, if you ask us what makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, we don't have no idea.
No clue. Yes,
Don't
sir.
have a clue.
Go ahead, brother.
The answer, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. He said the earth is approximately covered underwater, approximately 3/4 of its surface. The sun and moon having attracting power on our planet, while our planet making the terrific speed of, and Brother Joe talked about this in his opening, 1,037 1/3 miles on its way around the sun. The sun draws this water up into the earth's rotation, which is called gravitation, in a fine mist that the naked eye can hardly detect. But as this mist ascends higher and increasing with other mists of water in different currents of the atmosphere until when she becomes heavier than gravitation, then she distills back to the earth in the form of drops of water, of drops of ice, which depends on how heavy the mist was in the current of air it was in. There are some layers or currents of air, real, cold, and warm, and some very swift and changeable. So when the water strikes one of these cold currents, it becomes solid ice in small round drops in form, or in a light, fluffy form, which is called snow. But this water is not ever drawn above 6 miles from the earth's surface by the sun and moon. The reason it rains back on our planet is because it cannot get out of the earth's sphere. With its high speed of rotating around the sun makes it impossible. Earthquakes are caused by the Son of Man by experimenting on high explosion. In fact, that all the above is caused by the Son of Man. Now,
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
now we just said a whole lot. We just said a whole lot. But we learned the law of cause and effect. Weather, snow just don't happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Rain just don't happen. It's caused by certain conditions in the atmosphere. You said, brother, what does this have to do with violence? It has to do with violence. Because that violence was caused by a certain thing.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
That violence is the effect of a certain cause. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Violence, I'm going to give you some definitions again. Violence is defined as behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Again, violence is defined as behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Synonyms for violence are brutality, brute force, roughness, ferocity, savagery, cruelty, sadism, barbarity, ruthlessness, inhumanity. These are all synonyms for violence.
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in this article, and it appears on page 20 of the final call, he talked about the origins of violence, the cause. And I'm going to just read something from this very quickly. He said, and this is how we act. He says in this article that the culture of violence starts at the top. We say we want sensible gun laws, but we are demanding it from government at the same time that our government has the highest military budget of any nation in the world.
Yeah.
That's
Developing more and more weapons to kill more and more people. How can the violence stop on the bottom when the violence is perpetrated by policies at the top?
Yeah,
Come
go
on,
ahead.
brother.
Go ahead.
It is painful to me, and the minister was saying this in front of a group of officials,
Yes, sir.
police officials
Yes, sir.
at Brother Michael Flager's church in Chicago. He said, it's painful to me to say these truths in the presence of the superintendent of police and in the presence of other government officials here today, because the truths that I speak sometimes are uncomfortable, but it is not done out of hate. I speak these truths because I love and I want to see things better. Not just better for my people or for my children, but better for all children.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
But the cause of violence starts at the top.
That's right.
And America is plagued with such violence because her beginnings are violent.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
The kidnapping of the slaves 464 years ago was an act of violence.
Yeah, that's right.
The breaking of the slaves was acts of violence.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Jim Crow
Yes,
were
sir.
acts of violence.
Yes, sir.
That's why this country is plagued by violence.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the cause.
Yes, sir.
And it happens in our families, sisters and brothers. We wonder why we violent.
Come on.
We wonder why we violent.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
We're violent because that's what we were taught when we were children.
Yes, sir.
We were raised around violence. Now, I don't want to say that children shouldn't be disciplined or children shouldn't be spanked, because I believe that children should be spanked.
Yes, sir.
I believe in the scripture in the Bible that says that spirit of rod spoil the child. I believe that. But I don't think that we should ever spank our children in anger.
Yeah, that's right.
Are y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
I don't think that we should ever just flat out beat our children. Spanking and a beating is something totally different.
Yeah, that's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think there should come a time in the development of our children to where we don't spank them.
Come on.
That you should spank them when they don't understand anything else.
That's right. Go ahead.
Y'all feeling me?
Yes, sir.
Example. When a child is 3 or 4 and they take a fork or a knife and they want to stick it into a light socket, and you see them going towards that, you should smack their little hand.
That's right.
You should do that.
Yeah.
Out of love for that child, because you know what's going to happen if they put that instrument in that light socket. But to explain to a 2 or 3 year old, oh, Johnny, you don't want to stick that in there. You don't understand that. But a child who's that young, if you smack their hand, they associate the pain with something that they should not do.
Yeah, that's
Come
right.
on.
That's right. Go ahead.
Are y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
Now, as that child gets older, when that child is 12, 13, 14 years old, by the time that child reaches that age, you should have put in that child that which that child knows that they should and should not do, to where now you can actually talk to them and reason with them.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
But we can't ever spank them in anger. We can't ever take out our frustrations in life on them, because now we're not disciplining the child. Now we just being abusive.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir.
Now we're teaching them exactly what our parents taught us, because many of our parents were abusive.
That's right.
And they were abusive because their parents were abusive.
Come on. That's right.
And they were abusive because they learned how to discipline their children from the slave master
Yeah, that's
and the
right.
slave master's children.
That's right.
And all he did was abuse us.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it's about the maturity level of the human being. Which leads us right to the problem that we have with violence, particularly gun violence in the United States
Yes,
of
sir.
America.
Go ahead.
The problem we have is that, and people get offended, and you know when we say this, but it's the truth. The problem you have with America and violence, especially gun violence, is that you have, first off, you got more guns in America than you have people.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead.
Right? This year, the last statistic I shot, it was a few, or I decided it lapsed in a year, and we had, in that 218 days, there have been 250 mass shootings.
That's
Did
right.
y'all hear me?
Go ahead.
In 218 days of 2019, there had been 250 mass shootings.
Yeah, go ahead.
There have been more mass shootings, which means that there are 4 or more people shot at this particular event than days in the year.
Go ahead.
And what that tells us is that America is destroying herself.
Yeah.
Now this is divine,
Yes, sir.
because of what, you know, we just talked about in regards to how they treated us. See, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad predicted the fall of America.
That's right.
The fall of America.
Yes, sir.
And this is an indicator. The number of guns you have indicates the fall of America.
Yes, sir.
Because these guns are held, by the most part, by underdeveloped so-called human beings.
Yeah, go ahead.
Underdeveloped, immature, so-called human beings. And I say so-called because some of them not human at all.
Yeah, that's
The vast
right.
majority not human
That's right.
at all. You say, brother, okay, let's prove it a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper. See, in America, America guarantees you the right
Right.
to bear arms. Guarantees. That's a guarantee. That's a right. You know that's your right to own a gun as an American citizen. But you know what's not your right?
To kill.
It's not your right to even have a driver's license. Did y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You don't have a right to have a driver's license. Did you all know that? Driving in the United States of America, in the States, is a privilege.
That's right.
But you have a right to own a gun.
Go ahead.
Think that over now. Think that over. Something as utilitarian as driving a vehicle is a privilege. But you are guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States, well, not you and I, because you know they don't consider us citizens, but those that they do consider citizens, they guaranteed the right to bear arms.
Yes, sir.
And we have to consider that the time in which that right was granted, it was the time when America was fighting off its own oppressors.
That's right.
And so they guaranteed their citizens the right to bear arms and being malicious and this and that and the third. But I don't think that the founding fathers envisioned AK-47s, AR-15s, M16s, all this these high-powered rifles that are in the hands of these unsophisticated, underdeveloped so-called human beings today.
That's right.
But again, this savagery that is taking place amongst the people of America is right on time, and it goes right into the fall, because America is not willing to do what it takes to solve the problem.
Right.
You gotta watch these CNN and all these talking head shows, man. They will never give up their guns.
That's what they said.
Never. Never. And it's because, you know, it's an old school fear that's rooted in they just think that if they get AIDS, somebody gonna come for them.
Yeah, that's
Just like they came for everybody else.
That's right.
Somebody gonna come for them.
That's right.
Because we talked about law. There's another law that cannot be broken. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us about, and that is the law of justice.
That's right.
Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
See, the law of justice, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, justice lays down with you when you go to bed and it wakes up with you when you get up. That you cannot escape. And remember, laws cannot be broken. So the law of justice is set against the United States of America.
That's right.
It's set against it. In the scripture we're taught, in the 18th chapter of Revelation.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Right? And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Go ahead.
Now, we might not understand that, but I'm here to tell you today, from the teachers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that Babylon that this scripture is talking about is the United States of America.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's
That
right.
Babylon is the United States of America. How's it the United States of America? Very quickly. See, America was born from England. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All the founding fathers were old Englishmen who were exiled to this part of the world. Criminals.
Yes, sir.
And the capital of England is London.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Well, they just cut it short. See that? See how it says Baby London?
Yeah,
This
that's
is Baby London. Baby London.
Go ahead.
How's the baby London, brother? Because see, they got York in England.
That's right.
They got New York in America.
That's right.
They got Jersey in England. They got New Jersey here.
That's right.
They got Hampshire in England. They got New Hampshire here.
That's right.
England is England. They got New England here.
That's right.
Georgia was named after King George.
That's right.
Are y'all listening? Y'all
Yes,
following
sir.
me?
Go ahead.
This is who this is. Has fallen, become the habitation of devils.
That's right.
Man, a devil is nothing but a mischief maker and a bloodshed.
That's right.
Everybody comes to America to make mischief. Everybody comes to America to do what they can't do in their own home country.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
The hold of every foul spirit, the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right? An unclean and hateful bird is a bird of prey.
Yeah,
a
that's right.
buzzard, or,
Go ahead.
Or
Go ahead.
a black raven, or a hawk, or an eagle.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. It's the highest flying bird, but it's a hateful bird. It's a bird of prey. And that devil in El Paso, when he went and killed all them Latino brothers and sisters, he told the police,
He deliberately told him.
he deliberately told them. They pulled him over, he said, I'm the shooter.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
And then asked him what his motivated. He said, man, I was hunting
That's what he said.
Come on,
That's
bro.
That's what he said.
Mexicans.
That's what he said.
Drove 10 hours
That's right.
to hunt Mexicans.
Treat them like that.
This is who this is.
Yeah.
Come on.
And all of these incidents of white supremacy and all of these white boys with all these guns, man, this is an indicator of this is where we at.
That's
this
right.
is where we're at.
Go ahead, brother.
This is the fall of America. She could have been saved.
That's
Could have
right.
been. Go ahead.
She could have been saved if she would heed the word of God, but America don't want to heed the word of God.
That's right.
They don't want to hear the voice of God that's coming from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He is absolutely the voice of God. This man right here.
That's
in
right.
case you didn't know, he is the voice of God.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
She could have been saved.
Could have been.
All she got to do is listen. But she's not willing to do what it takes. Listen, there are people who are responsible. There are people who are developed enough to have weapons.
That's right.
There are. There are people who know how to use weapons responsibly. But, again, when the order of the day in the nation is savagery.
Yes, sir, brother. Go ahead.
I'm going to read something from the Fall of America.
Go ahead, go
This
ahead.
just popped in my mind. This just popped in my mind, and I know exactly where it is. Now, I always like to point out when this book was published. My book is all old, beat up. This book was published in 1973.
Right.
What year?
1973.
1973. On page 99, the chapter is entitled Savagery of America.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Savagery of America. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad writes, there is no such thing as law and order.
Come on.
The law is disregarded as though it were thrown in the jungles to be carried out by savage beasts. Murdering, killing, robbery, raping, and drug addiction are the only law and order that is respected.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
It has become such a country that the civilized man of intelligence and decency is afraid to walk the streets of the vast towns and cities of America. He will be more secure in the jungles around and in the midst of wild beasts than to be walking in the streets of these great cities in America after night. Groups of robbers and murderers, killers, and dope addicts are prowling the streets after night to exact their evil intentions upon the innocent. This is a mob of savages that the intelligent and decent woman should not dare venture out among. And if we see such women walking around, they are part of this savage people.
Go ahead, brother.
That's
Go
it.
ahead.
It has become dangerous even for the girl and woman to be standing alone in any unprotected place, day or night. Rapists lurking around bus stations, and robbers also, and thieves are at such stations. And with such conditions existing in a so-called civilized country like America, this is the worst name that could be applied to her. Police detectives and FBI are all here, but their daring savage acts are committed right before their eyes and ears.
Go ahead.
Now again, that's written or published in 1970.
That's right.
But it explains the conditions that exist right now.
Yeah.
Are y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Y'all realize that?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Have y'all taken time just to ride down Colfax?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
During the day.
During the
I don't
day.
even say at night.
Yeah.
During the day.
During the day.
I mean, just right here.
Go ahead.
Right. I mean, right here, our brother was just murdered right here in Montbello.
That's right.
Just this weekend. Last weekend, I went in to grab some coffee right after I left the meeting and didn't hit my chirper on my car, and my phone walked out of my car.
Whoa.
I was in the store for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was tripping, you know how stuff,
Yeah.
stuff gets stolen from you. I mean, you thinking, what, did I leave it? You know, you're just going insane.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that's what injustice causes. You know, oh man, this is such a deep subject. Y'all know injustice causes insanity?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did y'all know that? I mean, and I mean that literally. People who are deprived of justice go insane.
That's right. That's right. Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove it. I mean, because that's a heavy statement. People who are deprived of justice will absolutely lose their mind. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the brain was created to think rightly.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Go ahead.
Now think about that. The mind was created to think rightly.
That's right.
But when you are robbed of justice, you can't think straight.
That's right, sir. That's right.
Think that over. You ever been in the, well, I won't have nobody confess, but if you've ever been abused, you can't think straight.
Nope. That's right.
That's right.
If your house has ever been, if you've ever been robbed, anybody ever had their house robbed? How was your thinking?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Hurt somebody.
Terrible. A very evil thought.
Yeah. I mean, just my phone, that violation, I was like, man, I need
Yeah.
to find these niggas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, that was my first mind. Like, I got the app, and the app showed me exactly where the phone went. This is these apartments right over here.
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't, when you're deprived, especially when you're deprived for a long period of time,
Yes, sir.
then you go absolutely insane.
Yeah.
When you're deprived, your insanity causes you to think unclean thoughts.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Your
That's right.
insanity causes your conditions around you to be unclean.
Yeah.
Why do black people live in ghettos?
Come on.
Go ahead, brother.
Think that over now.
Think about this. Come on.
Black people live in ghettos because they are insane.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Go ahead.
They are insane because they have been robbed of justice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And you living in a space, man, where you don't have no jobs, you don't have no education, you watching TV, but you seeing everybody have everything that you can't have. You don't have no way to get it, but there's some dope over there. I know I can get some money doing
that's
that.
right. That's right.
So now that becomes an economic crime, right?
Yes,
but
sir.
the economic crime that you now are engaged